Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar, Automate NGO Document Workflows using Zoho Writer. It's great to have you with us, whether you're part of a large NGO or a small community group. Good documentation is essential. And today we'll explore how Zoho Writer can help automate and streamline those workflows. Joining me is Gautam, our co-host, who will demo practical solutions, and we will also be available to answer your questions at the end during the Q&A session. So let's quickly move to the agenda. But before that, a quick housekeeping note. Please use the Q&A pane to post any questions you may have during the session. Our product experts will address them during the webinar as well as at the end. For the best viewing experience, you can switch to the top bar or sidebar layout by clicking on the three dots in your meeting toolbar. Also, the recording of this session will be shared with all registrants once it's available. Let's take a quick look at what we have lined up for today. We'll start with an overview of documentation in NGOs and see how these documents form the backbone of smooth operations. Then we'll move into document building, where you'll see how to create templates and professional-looking documents efficiently. Next, we'll explore event and campaign management, how to design event tickets, forms, and invitations that can be personalized and sent out automatically. After that, we'll dive into document forms, focusing on volunteer and staff onboarding and how fillable forms can make collecting information seamless.
Yes, continuing from there, we'll cover document automation, including grant proposals and funding applications, showing how to collect donor commitments, schedule payments, and streamline approvals. Following that, we will talk about donor communication and acknowledgements, including automated letters and tax exemption certificates. Then we'll move on to reports and impact documentation, generating detailed, visually engaging reports for transparency. We'll also cover governance and accessibility, focusing on compliance documents, workflows, and controlled access. We'll wrap up with multi-language communication, showing how documents can reach diverse regions without language barriers. And finally, what's cooking? So where we'll explore the tips and tricks that we are going to, the advanced capabilities that we are going to release in the near future. So by the end of this session, you'll see how Zoho Writer can simplify and streamline NGO document workflows end to end.
Thank you, Gautam. Before we dive into the demos, let's take a quick look at the type of documents NGOs typically work with. Event and campaign documents include invitations and personalized tickets. Grant proposals help secure funding, while donor communication and receipts ensure transparency and proper acknowledgement. Volunteer and staff forms simplify onboarding and tracking, where impact reports showcase project outcomes and compliance documents maintain governance and accountability. Multi-language documents help NGOs reach diverse communities effectively. Now, moving on, let's talk about document building. So this is where NGOs start creating their core documents, everything from proposals to event materials. It's the foundation for all the workflows that we'll see today. For instance, in event and campaign management, the NGO team creates an event document with customized layouts, which includes event details, date fields, a QR code for ticket scanning, and an embedded map for the venue. Once the template is ready, it can be merged with the registrant data to generate personalized tickets for each participant. So Gautam, can something like this be done seamlessly in Zoho Writer?
Absolutely, Jennifer. Zoho Writer makes it really straightforward to create such event documents with all the custom layouts, QR codes, date fields, and maps. Once the template is ready, you can merge it with registrant data to instantly generate personalized tickets for each participant. I'll walk you through a live demo so you can see exactly how this works. So let me quickly jump over to the document section, and here is the Writer landing page, and from here we're just going to move to this first document, which is the event management file. So as you mentioned, yes, we are going to create an ticket and we are going to generate it to one of our participants. So in this case, what I've done is I have created an event ticket with two participants. So here you'll be able to see the event date, QR code info, and the map location along with the email address of the particular registrant. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you how to create this type of complex documents in Writer. So here you can see that I have added an image with a wrap type called inline. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to insert a text box, and the wrap type of this text box will be in front of text. So using these type of wrap types, you'll be able to add an image and you'll be able to add text over the image as well. So similarly, we have also added a date field in here, which is a dynamic date field. So anytime we open the document for merge, the date will be automatically updated to today's date. And furthermore, you can also see that there are two images in here. One is behind the text boxes and one is before the text box. And also here we have inserted another text box with the wrap type of in front of text. So now further moving on, we have the event date, which are the merge fields. So what we are going to do is we are going to pull these details, which is event date, event time, venue, and entry from the data source along with the QR code information. So if you'd like to know how to insert a QR code, all you have to do is just go to the automate tab and go to manage fields, under which you'll be able to select the field which you want to convert into QR code and then choose the type as QR code. Similarly, if you're going to insert a map field, what you have to do is just make sure that you have the location or the address in your data source and then change the field type as map. So now once that is done, I'm just going to insert them into the document in my preferred location. And now once that is completed, all I have to do is just run the merge and send this document to all the registrants. And not only that, here you can see that in here I've added multi-column layout. So if you just go to the page setup, you'll be able to see that I've used a two-column layout in this particular section where we have contents on the left side as well as on the right side of the document using this split that we have added, which is the column split. So now let's just go ahead and run the merge. So now what I have to do is I just have to configure the email settings. So I'm just adding the sender email address, and the to email address is the email address that I'm going to pull from the data source. So based on the registrant email address, it will automatically create a unique ticket and it will be sent to the appropriate registrant without any issues. So now all I have to do is just click on save and go ahead and run the merge. Yes, the merge is initiated and the registrants will be getting their event ticket along with the QR code and the map information. So let me show you a preview on how this will look for the registrant. So here is the preview. So here you can see that the map location has been pulled, so using which the registrants can easily access the hall. And that's how you can create event tickets or any other flyers within Writer using this complex layouts, and you'll be able to generate documents and share it to the appropriate event registrants.
Thank you, Gautam, for showcasing how you can create these personalized tickets for each participant. Now let's take a look at document forms, which are key part of how NGOs collect and manage information efficiently. Forms can capture details from volunteers, donors, or participants, and Zoho Writer allows us to create them with text fields, checkboxes, drop-downs, and much more. The responses are automatically organized, making follow-ups and reporting much easier. Building on that, here's a practical example. The NGO team can create a fillable form that captures personal details, roles, skills, availability, and whether they'll bring any required equipment. This form can be shared directly or embedded on the website, and all submissions are automatically tracked in a connected sheet. So Gautam, can you show us how this works in Zoho Writer?
Absolutely. I'll take you through a live demo and show how easy it is to set up a form, capture responses, and track volunteer information seamlessly. So here is a form that we have created. So if you happen to have a existing form that is in a PDF format, all you have to do is just click on File and go to Upload Document and select a fillable template, and then go ahead and upload your document into Writer. And we have an excellent AI detection tool which will detect all the fields in your document, and it will automatically insert the fields along with the label into it. So now, since I've created this document from scratch in Writer, I have added various fields according to my preference. So I've added text fields, radio buttons, and here I've used conditions as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the nationality as Indian, British, American, or others. So if the donor, if the volunteer or the staff is not from any one of these nationality, and if they are selecting others, then automatically there will be a text box which will allow them to enter their nationality and go ahead and proceed. And similarly, while going down, you can see that I have added a subform table. So this is one of the recent release that we made, which is subform table in a fillable template. So using this, the submitter or the volunteer or the staff in this case will be able to dynamically add table rows according to their preference. So if they are applying for multiple roles in multiple departments, all they have to do is just dynamically add the rows and they'll be able to enter these details. And not only that, we have also added a file upload field in this document. So this will allow you to upload any PDF files such as the proof of identity like a driving license, or if it is a resume or previous experience certificate, then they'll be able to attach them into this using this file upload field. And not only that, you'll also be able to specify the allowed type of files that need to be uploaded. So for example, if it is an image file or anything, you can just make use of those format and add them so that only those formats will be accepted when the submitter is gonna upload this form. And when you go to the automate section, here you can see that I have added save responses to Zoho Sheet. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull all these information submitted by a volunteer or a staff into a Zoho Sheet. So now once this configuration is done, all I have to do is just share this document so that the volunteers can fill or even publish this document. Or another thing is we can have the ability to embed this document into a website. So let me show you that. So here is the similar document, and here I have the option to embed. So what I can do is I can just go to the publish and embed from the automate tab and go to public on web and then click on embed code. So here I'll be able to copy this embed code and put it in my website so that any user accessing my website will be able to go ahead and submit the form. So I've got a live example in here. Let me show you a website that I've created. So here is a sample website that I've created for this use case. And in here, you can see that I've added a tab called Volunteer Staff Application Form. So by clicking on it, I'll be able to get into the form, and here you'll be able to see that all the fillable information is available. So let me just go ahead and fill these details. Just filling these information so that you get a clear idea on it. So here, let's say I'm entering it as an Indian, or if it is others, then once I enter, you can see that I'm getting additional text box in which I can go ahead and enter the preferred nationality. And now, further moving down, you can see that I have a role. So let's just say I am going to teach pottery skills for students in the NGO. So I'm just going to enter pottery. And I'm selecting the availability, which would be maybe my weekends and from date and to date. So let's just say I'll be teaching here for an year and maybe until the and raw materials required. So if I need to bring any clay, or it has to be provided by the NGO, so I'll just choose will have to be arranged by the NGO. So now here you can see that we have a plus button in here, so that if let's say I just want to apply for teaching different language as well, so I'll be able to go ahead and click on the plus icon and dynamically create table rows so that according to my preference I'll be able to go ahead and enter the skills that I have. And similarly, I can just go ahead and click on upload option and just go ahead and upload the file into this document easily. So now once these informations are submitted, all I have to do is just click on submit document, which will just go ahead and submit the information. So now if I just get into the sheet, so still you can see that there is no information added yet. So we'll check the logs for the status. Yeah, so it's currently in progress. So once this is completed, whatever the details that I entered in the form can be found under this particular sheet with the appropriate header. Yes, so you can see that status is now completed, and you can see the sheet file as well. Let me quickly get into the sheet file, and yes, here you can see that all the informations entered by myself is available in this sheet. So similarly, whoever accesses my website and if they're going to submit the form, they'll be able to, the information will be available in this particular sheet file as well. And not only this, if required, you'll also be able to perform various output options, like you can save this as a copy to a folder, so the submitted document can be saved or it can be sent via email. Or not only that, you can also simply put in signer fields and send this document for signer collection. So if you have any custom functions, you can also trigger webhook or custom functions. So these are the various options available, and this is how you can onboard your volunteers or your staffs in using the embed option to embed this form into your website.
Thank you, Gautam. That was a very great demo. Now let's talk about document automation, which is where Zoho Writer really saves time for NGOs. Automated workflows allow documents to be generated, routed, and approved without manual intervention, making operations faster and more accurate. For example, when preparing grant proposals, NGOs often need to manage donor-specific conditions like flexible payment schedules. The proposal includes project details, requesting funding, and options for one-time or installment payments. The team collaborates with the donor to finalize the payment amounts and dates before signing. So, Gautam, can this level of flexibility be managed within Zoho Writer?
Absolutely, Jennifer. Zoho Writer allows you to add donor-specific fields, set up flexible payment schedules, collaborate directly on amounts and dates, and send the finalized proposal for a digital signature. So let me show you how this works in action. So in this, I have created a grant proposal document, and here we have the donor name, NGO name, and a dynamic today date field. So here you can see that under the field section, under date, be able to add dynamic today's date so that the date keeps updating whenever I open up the template for merge operation. And also I've completed all the merge fields adding into the document, and here we have a field called payment terms. And in this payment terms, using this, I'm going to insert a condition so that if the payment terms contain quarterly installments, then I have to display this particular table so that the donor can select their preferred date and the amount that they're gonna make a payment. So if it is a one-time payment, then I'm going to show this particular table so that they'll be able to enter the payment date and the amount and remarks as well. And finally, I have also inserted two different signature fields. So the green one is for the authorized requester, and the donor representative will be signing these purple fields. So now once this configuration is done, all I have to do is just get into the automate tab and then go ahead and run the merge. So before that, let me show you a quick preview. So here, let me select payment terms. So here you can see that the first record is quarterly installments. So you can see that there are 3 rows and the user will be able to enter these information. Whereas if it is one-time payment, so let me switch it to the next record. So here you can see that the payment schedule contains only a single row. So this is how it works for payment schedules. So let me just filter these records so that I just need only one document to be generated for right now. So yes, this is how you can filter and then go ahead and run the merge. So yes, so now you can see that the submitted and the submitted by information is available. The cover letter with the amount, which is $50,000, and all the details are filled automatically from the data source using our merge fields. So in this, I have these payment and the amount field, which has to be filled by my donor. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to share this document. But before sharing, I'm just going to the review tab and I'm enabling track changes so that I'll have the ability to track any changes that is being made in the document. And also, I do not want the donor to mess up with the content so that they'll only have access to the payment date, amount, and the remarks. So for that, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use the share option and enter the email address of the donor. Okay, it could be myself, and I'm using a different email address for this. So now I'm providing the access level as edit field values. So now I'm going to share this document. So the document is now shared. Let me switch over to the incognito tab in here, in which I have logged it with the other account. So yes, so here you can see that I'm not able to edit the contents of this particular document. So this one is not editable for me. Whereas if I just scroll down, I'll be able to put in the information in my payment date field and the amount as well. So let's just say I'm trying to make a payment tomorrow, and the amount it's going to be 25,000. And so the next month, I'm planning to pay around 15,000. So the last payment would be 10,000, so that it sums up to the December 12th. I'm just going to pay the remaining amount. So as you can see, since I have enabled track changes, the information is not completely added. So this is how collaboration works with the fillable fields. So what will happen, I'm just going to the owner of this document. So in this case, I can see all the informations. So I'll just go to the review tab and just click on this changes. So yes, the payment date is going to be tomorrow. Yes, I accept that. So once I accept, you can see that the date has been accepted. But whereas, let's just say the initial payment is 25,000, but I required 30,000 on the first payment itself. So I'm just going to reject this payment. So yeah, I'm okay with the remaining date and the other date as well. So since the amount will be changed, I'm just going to reject these as well. So I'm just adding some comments or any information that I need to convey to the particular member, the donor, and the donor just opens up and they can see that the amount has been rejected. So now they're just going to enter the amount, which is 30,000 for the first month, 10,000 for the second month, and 10,000 for the third month. Yeah. So now all these informations are added. So let me just check into the tab as well. So now what I'm going to do is, yes, these actually go through with my terms. So I'm just going to accept these information. So now I'm getting the 50,000 donation that I'm going to get from my donor. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to convert this document into a sign template. I'm just converting this. So after converting this document, what I have to do is I just have to simply send this document for signing. So I just have to click on signing, configure the signers. So if I have the email address, I can just put in the email address and simply go ahead and send the document for signature. So this is how you will be able to use documents for signing the document and send it for your clients, and negotiation and signature can also be done. So the entire process is that we'll use the merge operation to generate the document, fillable fields to have the collaboration between donor and the requester, and we'll have the signing operation done in this case as well.
Thank you, Gautam. That was a great demo on how you can collaboratively work with the donors. So now next we are going to see how we can have donor communication and acknowledgements. After the donation is made, NGOs need to confirm receipt and provide a tax exemption certificate to the donor. So Gautam, can Zoho Writer handle generating these acknowledgement letters along with tax exemption certificates?
Yes, Jennifer. In Zoho Writer, we can automatically populate donor details, donation amounts, and generate the certificate signed by the NGO's executive director or managing trustee. Once completed, the document can be sent directly via email or printed for delivery. I'll demonstrate how this works in a live demo. So here is a donor acknowledgement and tax exemption letter. So I've got a data source in which the amount paid by the customer, the donor, and the information like the donation amount, payment method, the tax exemption, certificate number, everything is available. So this has been prepared by an employee, and we have to get this signed by the manager or the CEO of this NGO foundation. So now here you can see that we have added a date field, and we have also added a sequence number which will create a receipt number. So here you can see that there is a receipt number and the number starts with 1. So I have previously created a document which constitutes to the first receipt number. So now the next sequence number would be 2. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run the merge and send the document for sign collection. So let me just run it up. And I've configured my email address and the document name is available. So in the advanced settings, I'll also be able to customize the document name after signing, and I can also email the signed documents, or even if I would like, I can also execute any custom function and push these documents to various other platforms like Google Drive, OneDrive, Dropbox, or even attached to CRM. So if you're using Zoho CRM as your data source, then you'll be able to easily attach the file back to Zoho CRM as well. So I'm just this is a default gallery function, so you can use it just by following few steps. You'll be able to configure it easily into your document. So now once this is done, I'm just going to hit on run merge and send for collection. The document is being generated and it's just in progress currently. So in the meantime, let me just go to the email in my email inbox, and here you can see the previous invite, the event ticket has been available. So here you can see that all the information has been filled along with the map and etc. So by clicking on the map, it will just directly take the event registrants to the particular location in Google. Just waiting for the signature email to drop in. Yes, so the document is generated and it's now been sent for sign collection. Let's just check my email inbox. Yes, I have received an email for signature. So let me just click on start signing and proceed to the document. And just click on agree and continue and go to the right. So this way we can get the signature of the CEO or the authority and then send the document for the client. So this is how easy it is for you to create a donor acknowledgement and a tax exemption letter using Zoho Writer.
That was a great demo on generating donor acknowledgements and tax exemption certificates. Now, building on that, let's talk about reports and impact documentation. NGOs need to track donations and project progress effectively. In Zoho Writer, all project and donation data, including project name, donation amount, region, city, and project manager, can be consolidated. This allows teams to generate detailed reports showing donations collected region-wise and project-wise. Dynamic tables, charts, and visual summaries make it easy for stakeholders to understand the impact of each project. So, Gautam, can you show us how Zoho Writer helps in creating these visually insightful reports?
Definitely, Jennifer. I'll demonstrate how to merge the data, generate tables and charts, and produce reports ready to share with your management, donors, and pros. So let me quickly get into the document section, and here I have a report generation. First, let me show you the data source that I've configured so that you'll get a clear picture on how these data is being transformed into a beautiful report. So here you can see that I have a list of donor name, project name, region, and the donation amount. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to generate two different reports. So one would be region wise. So let's just take that I need to check the donation collected in the southern region. I need to have a clear report on that. So I'm just going to use this for generating a region wise donation amount report, and the other report is going to be based on the project. So if it is an education or a solar power project, based on that, I'm going to generate a report on the number of the total amount collected for each projects. So let me show you how this can be configured, and not only that, I'll also show you how to configure a map based on, a chart based on that. So here I have initially added a repeat table, and I have used the repeat table to group by field using region. So here I have region. So all I have to do is just click on region and select this group by button. That will allow me this option. So in this option, I'm grouping the contents based on the region first and based on the city second. So now once that is done, I am adding those fields into the appropriate location in my table, and under region total, I'm using an aggregate field. So the donation amount is the total amount. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to aggregate this donation field according to my grouped region. So for that, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use the operation as sum, and so based on that, I'm going to use the grouped region as the aggregate, the based on function. So I can either use whole data source or the group set from which these fields are inserted. And next I'm using the field called donation amount, and I'm just naming the field name as region total. So let me just quickly generate a preview and show how it transforms. Okay, so here you can see that the southern region collected 1,25,000 and the northern region collected 1,30,500, and similarly the west region collected 1,55,500. And when it comes to the total, you can see that I've collected the total of 4,11,000. So that's how you can generate a report with the raw data that is available and easily present them in a table. So now let's just move to the chart. So if you'd like to show these data in a visual manner, if you'd like to show them in a chart or maybe in a column diagram, etc., all you have to do is just make use of this chart option under the advanced merge field. So once you insert them, you'll have the capability to edit the chart. So we have various chart types, so you can select any one of this based on your own preference, and then in here I'm using the x-axis as the region, and for multiple series is selected, and I'm going to use the donation amount so that I'll be able to aggregate it based on the sum. So now once this setting is done, I'm just updating this particular chart field, and I'm going to use various other features like adding a title, showing the legend or data labels, etc. This from the left panel I can configure those information, and I just go to the automate tab and click on preview. So now you can see that all these three regions and the total amount collected by each region is displayed individually. So this is how, using chart, you can display the raw data according to your own preference. So now next, let's just move to the project. And as I talked about group by previously, it's also similar to that. But in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use group by for the project name. And furthermore, I'm categorizing it by region, city, and project managers, so that the entire report sums up according to my preference, and it will show you a clear picture on the total report. So now once this is done, I'm going to do the project value, and here, similar to the previous example, so I'm using the sum operation, but in here I'm using the project name, so that only using the project name I'll be able to get the total amount. So now once that is done, I'm going to go to the total donation amount, and in here I'm using the whole data source as the aggregate based on field. So now once this is done, I'm just going to show you a preview. Here you can see that it's being grouped by project name first, and then by region, and then by city, along with the project manager. So here you can see the total amount collected for each project, and here is the entire total donation amount that we have received for the entire month, which is 4,11,000. So now once this configuration is done, all I have to do is just to go ahead and run the merge and store it according to my preference in a particular location in WorkDrive, so that for later use or for each monthly report, I'll be able to instantly generate a report and store them according to my preference.
Thank you, Gautam, for that interesting demo on how to merge the data, generate tables and charts, and also to produce the reports. So that concludes our previous demo on report and impact documentation. Now let's move on to governance and accessibility. In this session, NGOs can create a comprehensive compliance document in Zoho Writer. The document includes multiple layouts, text boxes, cover pages, table of contents, and tables. It can be shared with different departments for review, allowing collaborators to add comments and suggestions. Once all feedback is incorporated, the finalized document is sent through an approval workflow for official sign-off and saved as an organization-wide template for future use.
Definitely. Thank you for explaining the scenario, Jennifer. So let me just show you the demo on how this works. So here I have got a compliance document. So let me just show you how to configure this document. So here, if you go to the insert tab, you'll find cover pages. So this is a cover page that I have inserted using the writer's available cover page. So this is the one that I've used. And in here, I have added text boxes, dynamic today year, dynamic today date, and the logo, company's logo as well. So now further moving down, you can see that I've used a multiple column layout. So in order to achieve this, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you a quick non-printing characters. So here you can see that in forward, we have a single column layout. So if I just go to the page setup, you can see that I have a single column layout. But in the same page, I have added a section break, and here you can see that I have added a 2-column layout. So using section break, you'll be able to easily divide your pages with multiple columns in the same page. So now let's say here I've used a column break so that the contents after this gets into the next column, and here the section break is end. So the next page will be according to my preference, which is either single, 2 or 3 column layouts as well. So now here I've used a table of contents. So you just have to go to the table of contents and select the required design and show levels, etc., and then insert your DOC into the document. And further, by scrolling down, you can check that there are various informations, and under the footer area I've added a text box. So here what I've done is I've added a text box, and I'm selecting the wrap type as square, and I'm also rotating this into 90 degrees. So here you'll have an option to rotate the text box entirely and place it according to your preference. So this can be used to display if it is a compliance document, or if it is an internal document, or even if it is a confidential document. You can go ahead and use the text boxes in order to display these information. And further moving down, I have added some tables into this document. So here you can see that I've added a table with 2 columns and 7 rows. And further moving on, you can also see that I've added one more table, and finally the document is completed. So now once the document configuration is done, all I have to do is just go ahead and share it with my team members. So in here, I'll be able to go ahead and share it, and I can collaborate with multiple departments. Let's just say I want some inputs from the legal team. I'll be able to use these comments so that they can select the comment and they can select the content and then add comments into it. So they'll be able to add comments directly. So once by adding these comments, they'll be able to easily check and change the content. And once the content is changed, I can just go ahead and assign the workflows. So here we have 3 different workflows, which is review, approval, and review and approval workflow. So using these, you'll be able to send the documents for review or approval as well. So all you have to do is just enter the email address, the note from the author, and the review due date. So once all the operations are completed and once the document is finalized and if it is approved, all I have to do is just go to File, Save as Template, and save this as a organization template so that all my members within my organization will be able to use this document.
Thank you, Gautam, for showcasing this demo. Next up is multi-language communication. NGOs often need to communicate important awareness content across different regions. Zoho Writer allows you to create the document in English and then use the built-in translate feature to convert it to multiple languages. This ensures that the message reaches all communities effectively. Breaking language barriers and maintaining consistent communication is crucial. So Gautam, can you show if Zoho Writer can be used to break language barriers?
Yes, definitely, Cherry. So you'll be able to use the translation feature available in Zoho Writer, and you'll be able to create documents and send it out. So let me show you how that can be done. So here I have a common document which needs to be spread across various regions in the world. So I have this in English. So let's just say I just need it to be converted to a different language. All I have to do is just go to the left panel and get into the tools and click on translate content. So now the language that I have in the document will be auto-detected and I can just go ahead and translate it. So let's just say I wanted to translate it to Spanish. So within few minutes, the document will be ready and available to you. So you can just replace the content in this existing document, or let's say if you'd like to have a document for each language and you want that to be shared, then you can simply click on save as a new document and put it as Spanish and then go ahead and save it up. So that's how easy it is for you to use the translation option and then generate documents in multiple language and then share it across various regions. So beyond what we have seen so far, NGOs use many other documents to keep things running smoothly. For example, a stakeholder engagement report tracks key interactions and a fund utilization summary shows how resources are being used. A partnership evaluation report helps evaluate collaboration, and an awareness campaign schedule keeps campaigns on track. And it doesn't stop here. Documents like donor retention plans, project monitoring and evaluation reports, field visit summaries, communication strategy documents, or even social media performance reports can be created in Zoho Writer. So once you start using Zoho Writer, you'll see how easy it is to design these documents, merge data, collaborate with your team, and share them instantly. So let's get into a quick sneak peek on what's cooking within Zoho Writer. So we have some excellent features that are lined up. So one such thing is the idea of adding payment links directly into the merged documents. So imagine donation appeals, event tickets, or membership renewals with personalized links. So this could make the whole process smoother both for your team and for your donors. Another upcoming enhancement is the bulk document scheduling. So picture sending reminders for donor birthdays, renewal dates, or even notifications automatically. So this will reduce manual effort significantly. And we are also looking to enhance our review and approval workflow. So as for now, we only have this workflow for internal users, whereas we are extending that to external users as well. So once it is available, you will be able to send documents for review and approval to external parties as well. And here are some recent enhancements. So one is the label templates, which lets you easily create shipping labels, product labels, or any other standardized labels your organization needs. And we also support subforms in fillable forms. So we just saw an example in the onboarding form. So this will allow you to dynamically add rows into the document. So this can be used while submitting a resume where a member will be having multiple skill set that can be easily added, and if it is an insurance, they'll be able to use it for dependencies, and in this case NGO, they'll be able to use the volunteer onboarding section. And not only that, we also have sum if calculation. So it will bring more power to your formulas, letting your sum values conditionally direct within your documents. So these enhancements are designed to make your document workflows faster, smarter, and more flexible.
And that brings us to the end of our main session. And I hope you found the walkthrough of Zoho Writer's capabilities for NGOs insightful. While we addressed all your questions, remember that all the documents, demos, and examples we shared today are just starting points. You can adapt them, build new workflows, and explore the advanced features we highlighted to truly streamline your NGO operations. Thank you for joining us today, and we hope you'll start experimenting with these features in your organization. And any feedback, you can always reach out to us to the options displayed before you. The session recording will be also shared with all the registrants for future reference. Thank you, everyone.